Okay, so the last video of the day. So today I have filmed my birthday haul. Then I filmed my book haul. And then I did my February TBR. Then I had to edit and upload my birthday book haul. This is the final video of the day, and it is my reading wrap-up for January, and it's going to go up Monday. My birthday book haul, I did film and edit, uploaded today, which is Friday the 27th. Trying to get some stuff done, previous, pre-recording and whatever, pre-filming, whatever. So anyhow, this is my January's reading wrap-up. We are going to discuss, I think it's like 10 books that I read in January. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, wait, no. Okay, well, it's 11 books. I can't remember how many was actually on my actual TBR. I thought it was 10, but it's not. And then I have 2 books. So I guess it was 8. So anyway, there were some books on my TBR and 2 that's not on my TBR. And you're going to hear a cat. I am in my bedroom. I got a cat meowing, scratching at my door. Probably to go out. Anyhow, we're just going to start with the top of the list. This year, I should say, for this year, I am doing ratings. Hold on. I probably should have grabbed that sheet as well, because I don't do this on Goodreads or anything like that. So, and I usually, and then I can't even speak. Okay, let me get settled. So, I tried doing the ratings on Goodreads a while ago, and I just stopped. It's hard for me to say, okay, well, how do I really feel? But I think this year, this is what I'm going to do. In my wrap-ups, I'm going to attempt to do the star rating. So, let me give you how I'm going to rate them, and then I think, if I remember to, I'll list it on screen. So, my star rating is going to be 1, I didn't like it all, or DNF. 2, it's going to be just okay, enough to finish reading. 3 is going to be I liked it enough, didn't love it or hate it. And then 4, enjoyed it, but it was something that kept me from it. 4 is going to be I enjoyed it, but something kept it from being a favorite. And then 5, favorite, really love it. So I guess we're going to start. I don't know if I want to start with how I got it listed out. You know what? I guess we start with how I got it listed out, which is Ruin and Rising. This is book 3 in the Shadow and Bone trilogy. This is the first 3. The trilogy is the first 3 books in the Grishaverse by Leigh Bardugo. Obviously, I think everybody knows that by now. I gave this a 3-star. Like I don't have the first 2 rated because I read them at the end of last year. This got a 3. I remember the first book being just okay. The second book is where I started to be like, okay, I may DNF this. But the only reason why I pushed myself forward with the trilogy is because I wanted to read Six of Crows and see how I felt. Because I've seen where people were saying that Six of Crows is better than the trilogy. And then I've had people say, oh, well, you can read the duology without reading the trilogy. But then there are some that were saying read the trilogy, you want to. Now me, I'm torn. Can you read the Six of Crows duology without reading the trilogy? Part of me will say yes. The other part of me will say no because of certain things that are mentioned. So, anyhow, this is 3, so I liked it enough. But I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. So there you go. The next one, we're going to go ahead with Six of Crows. Where is it? Six of Crows, also Leigh Bardugo. So technically, this is the 4th book in the Grishaverse. But the way her books are, from what I'm gathering, it's the Shadow and Bone trilogy, and then you've got the Six of Crows duology. If I didn't like this, I think I would have just said, screw it, I'm DNFing everything. I'm not going to read Crooked Kingdom. I'm not reading the King of Scars, or whatever that duology is called, or get anything else that comes out in the Grishaverse. However, I loved Six of Crows so much. And spoiler, you're going to see this before you see my February TBR. Because this is going to go up Monday. And then the first Monday in February, the TBR is going to go up. 5 stars. I don't even think I have... Yeah, I think I have 3 books that are 5 stars. This is 5 stars. I loved it. If you are like me and you did not care for the Shadow and Bone trilogy, but you feel like you need to read that trilogy so you can move forward, please do. I say that knowing, because I'm looking back, and I'm saying that knowing book 1 was okay. I struggled with book 2, but I did finish it. 3, I was able to finish. I mean, there was something about it for me to say, okay, well, this was okay. Because, I mean, I gave Ronin Rising 3 stars. But if you're like me and you feel like you need to read certain things within a series, even if that series is separated by, like, trilogy, duology, but it comes together like the Grishaverse does, then I do think read it. But if you can go into Six of Crows and you don't care about the trilogy, I mean, I guess you could read it without reading the trilogy. Like I said, some people think you can, some people think you can't. I don't think you're going to be lost, but there are a couple people that are where they are, but they have a storyline, so to speak, in the trilogy. Anyway, I digress. 5 stars. I love it. And then we've got Zenith. This is the first book in the Droma saga. I started off being iffy about it, but I do like it. What did I give this book? Oh, okay. I gave it 4 stars. It's funny I had to think about that. So do I really want to give it 4 stars? You know what? I'm going to leave my star rating because I like the storyline. To me, this is sci-fi. It's fantasy fiction, but it's sci-fi because it's like in space. So for me, I think of space sci-fi. But I like the main characters because it's multi-perspective. And I want to see where Andy, which her name is technically Androma, and Dex. They're 2 of the main characters. And I want to see what's in store for them for book 2. And then her crew. Oh my gosh. They're just, I like Zenith. The next book is Nexus, and it's a duology. Oh, and the Zenith is by Sasha Alsberg and Lindsay Cummings. And then we've got Caraval. I was iffy about this one too. This is by Stephanie Garber. It's I can't speak. It's a trilogy. Can you tell I did more than a couple of videos today? I really do like this. I was surprised. I was iffy about it, but I like it. Now, I'm going to say something, and don't hold me to it, but I say it very, very loosely. It gives me Hotel Magnifique vibes. Not saying they're similar, not saying they're exact, because Hotel Magnifique was about a hotel. This is about kind of like a carnival-esque type thing, but with how the magic system is and how the person that's in charge of Caraval, what was his name? Legendary. What was his name? I can't remember the carnival master's name, but just the way he was, and just the way certain magic was, and just the way certain things played out, I did get Hotel Magnifique vibes. I am not saying that they're exactly alike. I'm not saying they're even similar. I'm just saying that's what popped into my head, and to me, that's vibes. But this one, what did I say that this was 4 stars? Yeah, I gave this 4 stars. The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon. Okay, I mentioned this in another video, and I said I'd go into detail here. So, Stephen King, The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon. I'm going to go ahead and tell you my star rating for this. This is 2. It was okay enough for me to finish reading. So, unpopular opinion, and I said this in a previous video, I don't know which one you'll see first or come across first. Stephen King is supposed to be horror. I didn't get horror from this. It was about a girl who goes on this little nature walk with her mom and brother. Her brother was being a type of way. The mom and brother were arguing as they were going into her, which the mom and brother argue all the time. The boy is very difficult. The girl had to use the bathroom, so she veered off, and she ended up getting lost. And I don't know how. I guess it took a while for the mom and brother to realize it because they were arguing. She got lost, and she was lost for days. And that's the most I'm going to say about the books. I don't want to give too much away in case you are wanting to read it. And if you can still hear my cat, I am sorry. If it distracts you, it's distracting me. I'm trying not to think about it. because I'm trying to speak, but my brain's wanting to focus on that. But anyway, it's 2 stars simply because, I didn't love it. I liked it enough. It was just okay. I know a lot of people like Stephen King, but I don't know if I do. Here's the thing. I was waiting at each page that I flipped. I was waiting for the horror aspect to kick in, and it never did. Now, here's my thing. Keep in mind, this is a book. If this happened in real life, a child getting lost, I can see with that being scary. I'm a parent. If one of my children got lost, that'd be a nightmare. Not just a horror story, but that would be a nightmare for me because I don't even want to imagine that. But so I wouldn't want that in my real life. But for a book, give me all the drama. Give me all the give me drama and give me, if you're going to call yourself a horror book, give me that. This didn't give me that. I mean, she did experience a few things. It was because she was sick. But there was nothing really horror about it. I kept waiting for the horror and waiting for the horror, and it never happened. Now, this is not my first Stephen King book. This is actually technically it's my second, but I'm going to say third, and here's why. I originally read the Colorado Kid. This was several years ago. I watched Tremors on Netflix. That was loosely based on the Colorado Kid. I went into that book with high expectations because I thought maybe it'd be a little bit with the Tremors into it. But it wasn't. And I think at that point I realized, hey, because, the show was loosely based on the book. So I thought, okay, well, maybe the book has this too. But no, the book was something entirely different. Well, not entirely different, but it had the interview thing. And so, looking back, I finished the book. So therefore, it had to be okay enough to read. Now, if you go on my Goodreads, it's going to say that I love that book. I don't remember loving that book, but yet, past me must have felt something because that's what I wrote, but I don't, now looking back, I don't love it. And then I read this one, and it was just okay. And I also tried it, because, that's the book that people really know. That's a monster of a book. I did start reading it. I got to 40-ish pages in, and that book, I had to DNF it, and I thought I was just going to DNF it for a little while and then pick it back up, so basically a temporary DNF. It's in my box ready to go to McKay's. I don't think I'm going to pick it back up. I understand if people think, oh, well, after so many pages it gets better. Guess what? I shouldn't have to wait for that moment. I get things take time to build up, but at the same time, I shouldn't be so many pages in and I'm still waiting. So, that's why I say, technically, I've only read 2 all the way through. But I did start that one. And no. Now, I do have a few more books on my list. Well, on my shelves, for Stephen King. And I think what I'm going to do is, I've got one on my February TBR. I'm going to try that one, see how I feel. And after that, I've got a few more. I hope it gets better. Because a lot of people love Stephen King and they love his writing. Or maybe they don't. Anyway, I don't know. So, I don't know. Unpopular opinion, but I'm slowly thinking. And it's on pause, though. But I'm slowly thinking that maybe, just maybe, he's not for me. But I didn't get horror from this. It's not a thick book by no means. So it was easy to get through. But it just doesn't scream horror to me. So there's that. Misconduct. Miss Penelope Douglas. Oh my God. New favorite. I found out about her because of Destiny Sidwell's one of her videos. She was talking about Birthday Girl, and she said she didn't like Birthday Girl. And the reason for it is it was a huge age gap. And it was basically the main character got with the other main character, and the other main character was the dad to the boyfriend the female main character had broke up with. So she broke up with her boyfriend in the book, ends up with his dad. It ends up with the boy's dad. And that's the biggest FU you can give. So Destiny didn't like it for that reason about being the age gap. In real life, would I want a huge age gap? No. In my book, it's fine. And I loved that book so much. And so I had to get some more books from her. So I finished what I had, got this one and another one, which I have some more on the list that I want from her. She's got a 7-book series, a 6-book series, and then some standalones. They're on the list. I'm going to get them. Misconduct, no exception. Loved it. 5 stars. Basically, it's a teacher, and she ends up with the father of one of her students. And that's all I'm going to say. Okay, so let's go with the guest list. Lucy Foley. I gave this one 3 stars. It's listed as mystery thriller. I mean, it was okay. I liked it enough. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. And that's all I'm going to say on that one. I don't want to give too much away on each book because I don't want to give spoilers. I don't know what you people are going to think of. This is a spoiler. This is not a spoiler. And get mad at me because what I may think isn't a spoiler, you may think is a spoiler. So, anyway, 3 stars. It was okay. Easy to read. Colleen Hoover, y'all already know. My go-to author. I read one of her books. I can't remember when I started getting into Colleen Hoover, but I read it, loved it, had to get more. And I can't remember when that was. Or what my first book of hers was. But anyway, I got Verity. This is 5 stars too. Talk about insanity. Like, this is a freaking romantic thriller. The author, not this author, Colleen Hoover, but her main character is an author. And she ends up getting this new job. The husband of a big, huge author, his wife is his wife is sick. I'm saying supposedly because I know what happens. So the main character gets the job, and then things happen. At first you're thinking, even the main character thinks, well, maybe she's seeing things, maybe whatever. But let me just say the wife is crazy. Let's also just say, not everything is what it appears to be. And that's all I'm going to say. But 5 stars. Okay, so that's all the books that I've read, and I'm missing one. Give me 1 second, because I'm missing one. Because that's all that I've read that was on my TBR. But there's one that's not on my... Where is it at? Hold on. Okay, so That's Not What Happened by Kody Kiplinger. I had to get it because this was in a book haul, my book haul video. So, and I put it up and not put it back with this. So, this wasn't on my TBR, but I read it anyway. I didn't rate this because of the topic. Yes, this book is fiction, but the storyline has happened numerous times in real life. And I don't feel, even though this is fiction, I don't feel that I could rate that. Because the tragedy in this book has happened so many times in America, and honestly, it's heartbreaking and it makes no sense. If you don't know what this book's about, and I'm going to be very simple, very short, it is about a school massacre, school shooting, and the aftermath of that. It's just devastating. That's why I won't rate it, because it wouldn't be fair. Yes, this is fiction, so therefore I could rate it. I won't, because I'm not going to put a rating on something that has in fact happened in real life. Not to me personally, but it's happened in America. It's happened to other families, and it's happened so many times, and it's unnecessary, and it's ridiculous, and I just can't. And I hope that makes sense, but I just cannot rate this. I just can't. 2 books that I am not finished with. Love on the Brain, Allie Hazelwood. This is my first book that I've picked up by her. I like it so far. I enjoy it. I am hoping to finish it before the end of the month. I'm on page 182. Usually I'm very good about finishing a book in a few days, especially if I really like it. But I'm getting very distracted with watching YouTube or just other things. But I should have been finished this, but here we are, not done. But I am going to try to finish it before the end of the month. And for whatever reason I can't, it will carry over into February. But I've already done my February TBR, so you won't see this in my February TBR for books I need to continue. But you would see it you will see it in my reading wrap-up. So just keep in mind, if you don't see it in my TBR and I'm not finished with it, you'll see it in the reading wrap-up, and I hope that makes sense. But as of right now, today's the 20th. Today's the 27th. I'm filming this on the 27th. And this video won't go up until Monday. But anyway, not done with this. But I'm over halfway. The Bad Place Dean Koontz. This is okay. I used to love this author. He used to be one of my favorite authors. And just, I guess not so much now. Because back when he was one of my favorite authors, I only read specific authors. And then a few years ago, like 2018, I got into BookTube. I got into watching different people on YouTube. And they were talking about different books. So therefore, the authors that I read, the titles that I read are so much more now. So therefore, I guess maybe I just need to admit that he's no longer a favorite. This has gotten better. There's been some I DNF because it just won't get better. But there's some paranormal stuff happening. This won't get finished this month. I'm going to go ahead and say it. This will not get finished this month. And I should have thought about that. And I should have put it in my February TBR as a continuation. But I didn't. But hopefully I'll finish it in February. And it can be in my reading wrap-up for February. Okay, I'm done now. I am getting more tongue-tied. As the last video I was tongue-tied, I'm tongue-tied in this one. So we're going to be done. Hope you enjoyed my January reading wrap-up. Have you read any of these? Do you like them? Which ones do you like? Which ones don't you like? What was your January TBR? Anyway, and that was my star rating. I did go through 1 through 5, and I'll put it on the screen at the beginning. Anyway, I'm done because I'm getting tongue-tied, so I need to quit speaking for a while.